Hello again, Steve here, with a few thoughts on somebody who I admire. And if this little discussion here once in a while is about sharing ideas on improving the quality of our life experiences, I'm going to share once in a while about those people that have made a difference in my life and made a positive difference in my life, I would say. Now this guy, if you listen to this guy for a while and you've read some of his stuff, you might wonder, why would I consider this guy to be somebody of significance? Well, it's because he's one of these out-of-the-box kind of people who speaks his mind and was very effective at what he did. So not only there's people who speak their minds who just are basically buffoons in a way, or ineffective, right? But this guy was extremely effective when he did what he was doing. The guy's name is Gary Halbert, and I mentioned him a couple of times on various different topics. But he was a marketing genius, and we can all, even if we're not in marketing or anything like that, we can all learn from somebody who is a marketing genius, because to be in sales or marketing in that field, to be successful, if you're not a con artist, that is, which this guy wasn't as far as I could see, if you're going to be honest, you have to know human psychology. You have to be able to have a sense of what it is that people actually want. So an honest individual in marketing, if they know, for example, if you know this group of people are interested in this product and they're looking for it already and they can't find it, and you say, I've got it over here. If you could figure that out, there's nothing dishonest about that. You're actually providing a service, right? Because they're looking for that, and you're just saying, hey, I've got it. And they're already prepared to exchange something for it, and you're willing to say, okay, I'll exchange something for it. So that's what Gary Halbert was, and he was very honest about it. And he came across, he had his, what we would perceive as faults in a way. He's chauvinistic, he swore, he, didn't have the politest of manners and so on. But, how many of us are at times like that anyways, but then we put a pretend face on for the rest of the world? Well, he wasn't like that. And where he'd show up to these seminars and there'd be everybody in suits, and he'd show up with a old lumberjack shirt, ball cap on, half cocked, and a raggedy old looking pair of jeans. His point was, hey, do you want to see me for the costume, or do you want to you want to have some content? And I really admired that about him. And he was just, the things he would do, most people wouldn't think about what he did. There was one time when he'd gotten divorced, I guess, and he was an older guy in the dating scene. He was really funny too, the stories he'd tell. That was part of his trick, eh? He told these funny stories that people could relate to. And he was talking about the dating scene. He says, you got to start dating after being out of the dating market for a long time. It is absolutely crazy out there. He said, I dated this one girl, and her ex-boyfriend was a hired hitman, really funny. And so he ended by getting frustrated. So he turned his solution for so many things, because he was a marketing guy, is he turned his marketing genius skill into finding a lady. So he was famous for running full page ads in the Wall Street Journal and the National Enquirer and the New York Times and stuff. So that's what he did. He ran a full page ad, fine print, with every detail that he was looking for, and he was just flooded with all kinds of letters. This is before the internet, of course, so everything was in print. But if you want an interesting read or some interesting YouTube videos, he says there's people in the marketing community, certain aspects of the marketing community still admire this guy, and he's passed away now more than 10 years ago, and well, before the internet became really strong, actually. But there was so many recordings of him in seminars that you can look him up, and he's really, if you got a sense of humor, if for nothing else, this guy is great. But listen to what he's got to say, and a lot of the stuff that he has to say is human psychology. You know, he cuts through all the fluff of government bullshit and you know, the way things are supposed to be done, and he gets right to the point. You know, it's like truth in advertising. He talks about truth in advertising, truth in advertising. None of this fluff shit. Like, he talks about, you know, the way in advertising a lot of times there's fiddle and music and everything going on. He says, no, I don't want all the stuff. I want the information, you know. And he was good at that. And he's responsible for apparently the largest and most successful mail order campaign in history, the coat of arms campaign. And, you know, people would pay huge amounts of money, companies and individuals, to hire this guy to do their marketing campaigns for them back in the 70s and the 80s. He was quite a legend. So I'm going to put a check mark for influence and just an out-of-the-box character. If you have any interest in marketing whatsoever and in sales, or you just like to listen to something kind of cockeyed humorous, have a listen to some of the stuff that Gary Halbert has to say. And if you are in marketing and sales, definitely worth a check. And not just for the humorous side of it, but the actual, you know, concepts behind what he's talking about. Hope this is interesting on improving the quality of our lives. If we can recognize the value in people who have achieved well in their chosen field, even though we may see aspects of their life that are a mess, the aspects that are working, I think it's worth a look at if we're at all interested in improving ourselves in that area. So, just a few thoughts. Thumbs up to a lot of the teachings of Gary Halbert. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.